Hello again. Today we're going to talk about the present, the representation of Ukrainian present tense in English tenses, based on the Ukrainian verb працюю. Працюю. We're going to discuss three most important aspects of the English present, and they are the following: the regular aspect, the temporary aspect, and the durative aspect. Regular, temporary, and durative. We're going to start with the regular aspect. When I say я працюю, and I mean something that happens regularly in my life, then it's totally okay to say I work, which is the present simple tense. Regular. What do I mean by regular? Well, there are different kinds of regularities. There might be a zero regularity. For example, I never work on Sundays. Okay, that's a zero regularity. Well, there can be some middle or average regularity. I often, or I usually, or I seldom work on Saturdays. Okay? But there is some sort of regularity in this case, in the tense of present simple. When you say I work, okay? Some sort of regularity. For example, I always or never, or I work Monday through Friday. That's my regular working schedule. Or I'd say I work on Saturdays. Saturdays are included in my working schedule regularly. There's a whole big difference between saying on Saturday and on Saturdays. When you're saying on Saturday, then it's going to be something about the future, and a different tense should be used. I'm working on Saturday, and you can see this better in my other video when I'm talking about the future based on the verb попрацюю. So you can check this video out. But now here, when I say I work, I also mean some regular action. I work at this and that company, okay? Because it's regular. It's a regular thing. It will be different when you say I am working. You'll make it temporary action. You want to specify that it's only temporary. I'm not a regular worker at this company. But when you say I work, it's your regular employment, regular position. Now, every time when, let's say, I work, every time when they call me, so some sort of regularity, all right? This regularity can be zero regularity, some average regularity, or some high regularity, all right? It depends on let's say, on what you're trying to say. I work every day, that's a very high regularity. All right? Every day, including Sundays and Mondays. Or, I never work on Sundays, zero regularity. Or, I often work on Saturdays, somewhere in the middle. But in any case, there is some sort of regularity. Now, in both of these, and all of these three tenses, and all of these three aspects, there's a way to put it with emphasis. All right? So, there is a difference when you say I work and I do work. In this case, do, which is an auxiliary verb, is used for emphasis. Well, usually an auxiliary verb, like do, is used in English tenses for making questions or making, let's say, negations when you don't want to do something, all right? For negative sentences. So here, I do work. What would be the situation to use I do work? For example, you're discussing something, let's say you're discussing having a party on Saturday. And you say to your friend or partner, you say, okay, let's do a party, let's say on Saturday, because you don't work on Saturdays. No, I do work on Saturdays. See, you want to make an emphasis. I do work on Saturdays. So in Ukrainian it could be translated as ні, я таки працюю у суботу. You want to put this emphasis here, all right? So do is used for emphasis. Now, we're going away from regularity to something that is temporary. Now, regularity is something that is true here, and here, and here, and here, and here, you know, in all this present section of my life. But temporary, something that is temporary, is actually true only here, right now, or at this extended period of my time. Alright? Not here and here and here and here and here, but somewhere here. Alright? Either right now or in some temporary period. What do you mean by saying that? I'm working now, that's clear. Something that's happening right now. Я працюю зараз. Or I'm still working. Again, you're talking about this present. At this present moment, I'm still in the process of working. I'm still working. Still. Today is not right now, but it's temporary period. It's not usual. Okay? Usually, I work from, let's say, 7 to 6. Alright? But today, I'm working 10 to 6. Alright? The schedule, my working schedule has been changed for this exact day. Today, or this week I'm working on this issue. You do not work on this issue regularly, but this week you're working on this issue temporarily. There's only a temporary period, or this month, this summer, let's say. There's a difference. There is a difference when you say, let's say, I work for Coca-Cola, and I'm working for Coca-Cola. When I say I work for Coca-Cola, it means you're an employee, you're part of this company, alright? It's something that you do permanently. Now, when you say I'm working for Coca-Cola, it might mean that you're doing some certain project, and when this project is done, you are no longer going to work for Coca-Cola. Let's say you're doing this financial audit, or you're checking the financial statements, or you're doing some certain project only temporarily. All right. So if you are a permanent employee at some company, it's better to say, of course, I work at this company rather than I'm working. I'm working denotes some temporary, some short-term period. All right. Now, there's a way how, you could put emphasis using this tense. I am always working. That's weird. Basically, you use always with regularity, right? Not some temporary period. But when you say I am always working, okay? When you use the word always, which denotes some regularity, and you use present continuous, I am working, that's the present continuous tense. Then you put these two things together, in the outcome, you've got an emphasis on some certain aspect. And there can be two emphases. For example, I'm always working more than everybody else in this company. That's a negative thing, a negative emphasis. Right? You're annoyed by what's going on, so by using present continuous for a regular action, you emphasize here, in this particular case, that you're not happy with that. I'm always working more than everybody else, alright? Okay? Now, or I'm constantly working. I'm constantly, or I'm always working more than everybody else. Alright? Or you can say I'm never working a normal working day. I want to work normal working hours. Okay? I'm supposed to work normal working hours, but I'm never working those normal working hours. Alright? So you're not happy. You're not happy with that. But quite often it's got this negative connotation, negative taste to it. But it's not always so. At times, for example, when you're describing your committed employee in this company and you want to praise him, you want to emphasize how good he is, you can say, Jack is always working more than everybody else. He is a great partner, a great friend, always helps us in need, or he's always helping us in need. You want to emphasize now the positive side, all right? But more often, from my personal experience, I would say that more often, I'm always doing something is used with in some negative context. Now, durative aspect. Regular, temporary, durative. Now, if I'd illustrate this difference using my moves, my hands, if there's no whiteboard, no marker, I would say that a regular action is something that I do here, here, and here, and here, permanently. It's permanently true in my present period. Now, temporary, it's something that's going on now or in this present moment in my life. But when you use the durative aspect, you want to say that something has been in progress all this time, or the whole something, all the afternoon, or since 2012, or since something, you want to emphasize that it's been going on for such a long time. For example, я працюю в цій компанії вже понад 15 років. There are two ways how you can say it. The first aspect is more or less neutral. The first way is more or less neutral. I've worked, or I have worked, which is present perfect. Third tense, right? So far the third tense. Third present tense. I've worked in this company for over 15 years. And it's more or less neutral, alright? There's no emphasis, but you can say, I've been working in this company for more than 15 years. See, there are more words here, more words, and just like in this aspect, there is one extra word. Here, there's a longer construction, and here, there's a longer construction, more words, and when there are more words, basically you can logically understand you've got this emotional feeling that it's something that is emphasized. So when you say, I've been working in this company for more than 15 years, it's sort of in Ukrainian, я працюю в цій компанії вже аж понад 15 років. You want to simply stress the duration, okay? What is the duration again? It's something that started in the past and is still going on, alright? A typical mistake here, a typical mistake by Ukrainian speakers is to say, I am working in this company for 2 years. Or I am working in this company for 1 month. That's not right. Why? You're mixing I am working, which is a temporary action, with something that is durative. What is duration? It's something that started in the past and is still going on. Typically, something that started in the past and is still going on is represented using these words. For the last 10 years, for all of my life, for 1 year, for 2 years, since some time in the past, since May, since 2012, alright? Now, all the afternoon, all my life, or the whole afternoon, the whole morning, the whole evening, I've been working on this issue the whole day. I started somewhere in the past, that's in the morning, and I'm still working on it. That's what you mean by saying I've been working on it, and you emphasize that it's been such a long period. There's an emphasis. I've worked on it all my life, or I've worked at this company all my life, and I've been working at this company all my life. There's a slight difference in the emphasis. When you add more words, when you use present perfect continuous, it brings out some emphasis. You want to just mention that it's been such a long time. That's what you're trying to say using present perfect continuous, which is I have been working. But I want to warn you that it's not always that these two tenses, okay, can be used in one and the same context. They can be used in one and the same context when there is a case of duration, but not the case of quantity. I have worked in 5 different companies. 5 different international companies is totally okay. But the translation here is in Ukrainian in past. Я пропрацював в 5 міжнародних компаніях. But when you say I've been working in 5 different international companies, it means that there are 5 companies and you began to work at all of these companies, at the same time, and you're still working in 5 different companies at the same time. So it's a wild context, so it's not usually used like that. It's used, I've been working at this company for so many years. So when there is some quantity, it's not, when you say, I've been writing 3 reports, it's a little bit weird. It means there are 3 reports you have been writing at the same time. You should say, I've written 3 reports. Я написав 3 звіти. But I've been writing my report since morning. So when you want to talk about duration, both of these tenses can be used quite often. Now, if you're talking about some quantity goes with present perfect. I've worked in 5 different companies, usually. All right, with something that has already happened in your life so many times. And of course, if you know, there are some verbs in English language that are not usually used with ing forms or continuous forms. So let's say I'm going to give you one example. The word to know. So it's a little bit weird to say, I've been knowing him all my life. So know is a stative verb, not usually used with ing. So it's correct to say, I've known, or I have known him all my life. That's just another aspect where these 2 tenses cannot go together. Only one can be used. All right? So again, all of these 4 tenses are used to represent one and the same Ukrainian word, працюю, depending on the context. Працюю завжди, регулярно, певна ступінь регулярності, a certain degree of regularity, either 0 or average or high, there's work. If you want to make an emphasis in this case, I do work. I do work on Saturdays. Now, if you're talking about some temporary right now or some temporary period, then it's I am working. Now, if you add regularity here, I'm always, I'm constantly, I'm never working, then there's some sort of an emphasis. You emphasize something. Quite often, the negative side of the situation. I'm always working later than everybody else in this company, and I don't like it. Okay? Now, I've worked, that's duration. Something in the past until now. Duration. All right? To make it an emphatic sentence, to make it stronger, you can say, I've been working. I've been working. Okay? I've been working. Now, if you make a question here, in this case, with the word how long, again, it's more usual to say, how long have you been working? All right? How long have you been working? Because long, duration. Now, when you are talking about a stative verb, a verb that is not used with ing endings, like no, then you can say, how long have you known him? How long have you known him? All right? Thanks for watching. I hope you probably understand all these 3 aspects, regular, temporary, and durative. And if you do understand them, I'm using this emphasis. When you do understand them, then it'll be easier for you to make the right choice in translating one and the same word, працюю, or it can be almost any other word from the Ukrainian language. Just take into account the 3 aspects and the emphases that can be used in different situations. Thank you for watching.